Magnus Carlsen resigns the game against Vladislav. Anyway, so Magnus Carlsen is playing as black and he resigns within 20 moves. So it just takes 20 moves to crush Magnus Carlsen. Anyways, d4, d5 by Magnus Carlsen, c4 and then comes e6. Now this is the Queen's Gambit declined variation because Magnus Carlsen declined it. So over here Vladislav plays knight f3. Magnus Carlsen take out his knight and then plays e6, creating a beautiful pawn structure with knight developed. Over here e3 is played. The idea is very simple. If Magnus take, bishop take, and that's how he'll continue. He'll just develop his pieces and castle quickly. So white is dominating in the center and developing his pieces. Now the trouble comes when Magnus Carlsen develops his knight like this. How is that a trouble? Because white play queen c2, b6 and then he captures the pawn. Now over here I have evaluated and I got to know that many of the chess players they would continue with c take on d5. Well, let me tell you, c take d5 is the bad move because he can quickly take out his bishop, create a pin. Ultimately, this knight will get deactivated for a longer time. So that's one of the main plans. And that's why Magnus Carlsen go with e take d5. There is one more doubt among chess players, and that is why Magnus Carlsen play b6. So the idea is to move bishop a6. If he take, bishop take on it. What will happen is white will lose his castling ability. Okay, so he take it, e take d5 and then comes bishop d3. Magnus Carlsen develop his pieces, take out his bishop b7. Over here, if you observe, the best ever move, even as per computer analysis, was castling. Because bishop b7 was not a very supportive move right now, but it can be supportive in the future. So Magnus Carlsen was thinking about his future, so he just developed his piece. White go with e4, attack the center. Magnus Carlsen take. White take it, black go on with castling and then knight e5. Here Magnus Carlsen quickly trade the pieces and then knight take on e4, bishop take, a6. Now here e6 was a mistake. Why is this move a mistake? The idea for white hand side could be he could play rook d1 and try attacking the queen. Right? He is just sacrificing the pawn like this. Okay, why isn't he capturing the c6 pawn? Because if he will, then rook c8. And that's almost a game over. He tried his bishop take on it. So that's a game over for white. That's why over here e6 was played as a mistake. Magnus Carlsen played queen c7 in the sense that he is protecting this pawn. Now that is incorrect. He could have captured it. Okay. If he tried this bishop take and whatever, still rook c8 was possible. But Magnus Carlsen gone with queen c7 and misses the opportunity. Bishop d5 is a great move because if we take queen. So that's why this was creating a pin also. Now this opened up Magnus Carlsen's eyes. And then he played rook f8. Bishop take on x6 was another brilliant move. The idea is very simple. If he take, queen will come to g6, give a check. King has to move. Rook cannot move. Okay. So king has to move and then he can go on with bishop take on rook. After rook take, queen take on it. So that was a very easy win for white. Well, Magnus Carlsen does not capture it and play bishop d6, the best move. Over here, bishop take on f7 was played, rook take it, queen g6, and then he tries bishop take on x2, but that is not a lot helpful move. Over here, rook comes. Now, Magnus Carlsen opponent is trying his best to attack many of the pieces. He plays c5. Okay. Why isn't he capturing this pawn? Because he can play rook check and that's almost a game over. Okay. He can easily take it, otherwise he'll play rook here and protect and all. Anyways. So here he plays c5. Now he's playing f4. His idea is to allow this diagonal, allow this file. So he plays bishop d6. Rook check, bishop f8. Now rook to t1 was a blunder. Because, so first of all, white want to take this rook here and try to capture, right? But he forgot Magnus Carlsen could play rook f6, and thankfully Magnus Carlsen played that. He'll protect. Okay, if we try to protect, rook take on it, and that's how he could continue. Now his position would be completely winning for Magnus Carlsen. And now over here, his opponent placed a brilliant move, rook to d8. Now why is that a brilliant move? Well, so if he take, what will happen? Rook take f8, king here, and that's a checkmate. So that was a part of his plan, and that is the second brilliant move against Magnus Carlsen. Bishop take g2 was a blunder. Now Magnus Carlsen was like, king would take it, then just check. No, queen can easily take it, and that would be a very easy win. Anyways, he tries some checks. He tried to take it backwards, and then finally he resigns the game. So this was how Magnus Carlsen resigns the game within 20th move.